heard something and it resonated with me. And I wanted to share this conversation because it's extremely true. And as a black man, I live it. Let's talk.
Jews, slave masters used to have this as a saying: nigga sing, nigga dance, nigga jump, or nigga die. Those are the four areas right now of human endeavor you see manifestation of greatness among black people. God does not create hoopers. God does not create wide receivers and running backs. God, we are only manifesting greatness in these areas because these are the areas that have been open to us with the least amount of hindrance and suppression. So there's gatekeepers and monsters at all the doors of engineering and medicine and architecture. All the stuff that's nation building is challenging to get in that, but they always guide us into that. Slave.
So, unless you actually sit back and think about it, these type of conversations and thoughts will never really resonate with you. Now, if you look at this for what it is, this is simple Google search. Real simple Google search. I did a simple Google search of doctors. Of lawyers, that popped up. Simple Google search, architects, this popped up. Engineers, this. And doctors. Real simple. Then I simple Google search singers, dancers, jumpers, and runners. This is what came up. Now, for the most part, you guys will see this and say, come on, man, knock it off. Stop it. It's not this. It's not that. It's not this. It's not that. But the reality is, it is this. It is that. 100%. See, as a black man, I can speak educatedly about this. See, when I was a kid, we had teachers that would ask us, what do we want to be when we grow up? And I said I wanted to be a lawyer. And the teacher laughed. That discouraged me. Big time discouraged me. Because what are you laughing at? But other people said they wanted to be lawyers and doctors and veterinarians and all kinds of things. And the teacher was cool with it. But that was the first thing that came across my mind, is I wanted to be a lawyer. True story. True story. But we as black people are mainly guided to enhance the bare minimums. Let me explain what I mean by that. We're not necessarily guided to focus on our genius, to focus on building our mentality and things of that nature. That's not what we're guided towards, right? We are entertainment. It's what we've always been looked at. Nowadays, with the NFL and the NBA and, stuff like that, we're looked at more as high-priced entertainment. But we're still entertainment. They don't look at us as great doctors, as great lawyers, as great engineers, as great architects. That's not what we're looked at as. We're looked at as great sprinters, great jumpers, great dancers, great singers. We're looked at that. That's what we're looked at as. That's what it's always been for black people. Always. They just changed the level of pay from you're going to do it for free because you're a slave to now we're going to pay you to do it. But it's the exact same thing. You have no idea what Usain Bolt, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Patti LaBelle. You got no idea what they can do if they weren't singers. because that was never honed. That was never looked at to say, hey, Mike, you could be a great engineer. Mike, you could be a great architect. Hussein, you could be a great doctor. Patty, you could be a great lawyer. Those skills were never honed. The reason why those skills were never honed is because the same people that looked at us like a singer, a dancer, a jumper, or a runner, the same exact people that look at us to this day. They back then to now, it's the same people. No, where you can right now, people go to these certain locations, whether you go to the hospital or you go to a law firm or you go to to get your house built or something like that. You look at the person that's doing it, and if they're not white, you look at them as they got the hookup, a DEI hire. Yeah, you listen to weird ass Charlie Kirk talking about if I get on the plane and the pilot's a black guy, I wonder. Whatever you're wondering. Because we were never looked at as intellectuals. We were never looked at as having the capacity to be a doctor, an engineer, an architect, or a lawyer. We were never looked at that with that capacity at all. Even when you have black lawyers today, the black lawyers don't get looked at the same as white lawyers. They don't look at it, they're not looked at as competent enough. When the reality is they are the most competent because they have the hardest route to get through, like doctors. Black doctors have the hardest route to get to. Black architects and black engineers have the hardest route to get to. And they have the hardest routes to get to because they're looked at as inferior. They're not looked at as equal. They're not looked at as being on the same page, the same level. They're not looked at as being able to do exactly what white people can do at all. That's not the conversation. It's always more difficult. It's always more difficult. And the crazy part about it is it will always be more difficult. Us as black people look at black lawyers. There was I had a friend that was going through some stuff a couple of months ago, and I knew a black lawyer that could help her out. She picked the white guy. Her family picked the white guy because her family was the one paying for it, so her family picked the white guy. They picked the white guy over the black guy. Whatever, man. Whatever. You go to a doctor, you see it's a black doctor, you're like, might be the smartest black doctor in the world. But you're hesitant because it's a black doctor. Black engineer, you see a black engineer, it's like, might be the smartest engineer. But you're hesitant because that's a black person. A black architect about to build a skyscraper, and you're like, we'll hire Jimbo Bob. Yeah, because Jimbo Bob makes you feel comfortable. So you'll hire Jimbo Bob because Jimbo Bob looks like you. But if you were running a race, you're not going to get Jimbo Bob. You're going to get Usain Bolt. If you need somebody to jump, you're not going to get Jimbo Bob. You get Michael Jordan. If you need somebody to sing or dance, you're not going to get Jimbo Bob. You're not going to, if you see Jimbo Bob and Michael Jackson in the same room and you need somebody to sing and dance, you're not going to pick Jimbo Bob. The KKK wouldn't pick Jimbo Bob. At all. They would pick Michael Jackson. Usher. Drake, somebody like that. K-Dot, J. Cole. Yeah, you're going to pick somebody, some rapper, some singer, someone like that. Patti LaBelle, Whitney Houston, Anita Baker. And the list goes on and on and on. Of course, you'll sprinkle in there your Mariah Carey, your Celine Dion. You'll sprinkle those in. But for the absolute most part, in the sing, dance, jump, run, it's mainly black people. But in the doctor, lawyer, engineer, architect, it's exactly the opposite. See, for the white people, they have the capacity for generational wealth. They have the capacity, not to say that we don't, that black people don't, but see, it's a lot more difficult for us than it is for them. A lot more difficult. Hellaciously more difficult. Because the people in charge look like them, and the people in charge want people that look like them to look like them. So they want their companions to look like them too. So if you're in charge of the school of doctors or whatever it is, and they need your recommendation, they need you to get here and need you to get there, well, you know, they just don't like something about this. Your qualifications, Mr. Negro, are not the same as the qualifications for this white man, this brilliant white man. Although on paper yours are way better, but there's just something about you that just doesn't set right with me. So, you know, because this is my recommendation, I feel like this white man, who's a C level student and you're an A+ level student, but you know, I feel like this white man deserves a chance. And then they say DEI, affirmative action. It is a sad thing, but the reality is it's really sad on us. Why did we want to integrate in the first place? For what purpose? Well, what did integration do for us? Jewish people not integrating. They got their own Jewish town all to themselves. Asians really not integrating. They got Chinatown. They're chilling. Why the hell did black people want to integrate? Integrate for what? What did it do for us? What did it accomplish? What did it accomplish? Whatever. Appreciate you guys for listening. I'm on to the next one.